Good Monday morning, Algebra 1. We are reviewing, I know it says Chapter 1, but I'm reviewing some things that are going to be vital for you moving forward into any math from here on out, and just stuff that will help you with some of the smaller problems on your final. So the first thing I started was with terms, order of operations. I've got some evaluate, I've got some sign number worked out in the bottom. Mainly it's to make you guys kind of review and take the time to look over it and be like, oh yeah, I remember this. So terms. If you don't remember, terms are separated by pluses or minuses in a problem. So you can have anything from a monomial up to a polynomial. So monomials mean 1, bi is 2, tri is 3, and then anything greater than 3 is just a polynomial. Although a binomial and a trinomial are also polynomials, not all polynomials are binomials and trinomials. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how many terms this one has, or remind you. So I'm going to circle this. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is a 4 term. It's a polynomial. Okay, the next step is just order of operations. Again, I know it's very basic, but I like to review this at the end of every year because a lot of times you're going through so much review, your brains are so full of everything, you will forget the simplest basic things. And that's not pointed at you three in particular, that's just you guys in general. And I know I do the same thing too when I get super stressed over big things coming up, big events or anything like that. I sometimes forget the basics. So order of operations, if we forgot, it goes like this. It's PEMDAS. So parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division from left to right, and then addition and subtraction from left to right. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to see we've actually got two different sets of parentheses. So I'm going to start at the innermost one. So I'm going to add my 6 and my 2. So I'm going to have 4 times 8 minus 3, all of that times 2. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm still working with my parentheses. So you can see here, brackets are just another form of parentheses. So these are square brackets. So I'm going to do, what am I going to do next? I'm going to do the multiplication and the division because I have no exponents. So I've got 32 minus 3 times 2. I'm going to do 32 minus 3, and I'm going to get 29 times 2. 2 times 29 is 58, and we have our final answer there. Okay, just don't forget your order of operations. They will come in handy. Okay, now I'm going to move on to some evaluate. So evaluate is when you're given what x equals and what y equals and you're plugging it into a formula. Now remember, each different time you do these, evaluate, they may see the each different time you do these, it may say that x and y are different. So I could change this up and I could say, what about when x is 2 and y is 3? And you would have to resolve the problem for that. So I'm going to plug it in first. So I've got 4 squared plus 4 times 5. So I've got 4 times 4, which is 16, plus 4 times 5, which is 20. 16 plus 20 is 36. Again, I'm going over this not because I think that you guys did horribly on this section, not because you guys, I thought you would have forgotten all of this. It's mainly a review. That's the whole purpose of review, is to make sure that you remember and recall how to do things. So I'm going backwards just to try and make sure that your final exam goes a lot smoother. Okay, signed numbers. So if they have the same sign, we're mainly focusing on multiplication and division in this because you guys do pretty well with addition and subtraction, but this is something your book specifically says to review, so I'm going to do it. So if they have the same sign, the answer is going to be positive. If they have a different sign, it's going to be negative. So I'm going to start over here. Negative 3 times positive 4. Since I have opposite signs, I'm going to make that a negative. 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 2 in parentheses squared. This is meaning that the whole negative 2 is being squared. So this is negative 2 times negative 2, which is a positive 4 because it's 2 negatives. However, when we move down here, you've got a negative 3 squared. Note how this is not in parentheses together. This means that it's the opposite of 3 squared. So 3 times 3 is 9, and it's going to be a negative 9. It's almost like saying do this part first because we have to do the exponents first before we bring in that. Okay, so it's a negative 9. And then here I've got 2 negatives, which means my answer is going to be positive. 8 times 5 is 40. Now moving over here to division. We have negative 18 divided by negative 3. Again, same sign, so my answer is going to be positive. 18 divided by 3 is 6. I've got a positive 9 divided by a positive 3, same sign. 9 divided by 3 is 3. I've got a positive 15 divided by a negative 3. That's different signs, so my answer is going to be negative, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now here I've got a negative 3 squared, and note my negative 3 is in parentheses, so that's going to be 9, and it's divided by a positive 9 as well. Positive divided by a positive is a positive. 9 divided by 9 is 1. Okay, again, I'm going to be doing this week. It should give you some pretty easy work for you to just kind of review. You're going to have different types of problems and different types of stuff that I know you should know, that's just kind of bringing it back to the forefront of your memory to make equation solving and other stuff a lot easier. So I will see you guys tomorrow, and have a good day.